Alrighty, next game up here, and classic Vikings will do classic Vikings things. Rams get the win here, but it was close, 30-23. So the Vikings, folks, just turnovers are absolutely killer. Kirk Cousins with the interception. He also fumbled 3 times, didn't lose any, but still fumbled in chances of losing the ball. Losing possession and all that, like we know the Vikings do. They do it all the time. They fumbled their way out of the playoffs this season, folks, like they do kind of every year. They fumble it. They fumble. They get into the playoffs. Everything's going good, and then they fumble it and lose and all that. So classic Vikings, folks. We've been saying it all season. Yes, Kirk Cousins' interception didn't result into any points, but it took away points from him because he threw an interception at the 8-yard line on 3rd and goal, so they're at least, gonna get 3 points out of it. Could have gotten a touchdown if he completed that pass instead of completing the pass to the opposite team. And, they were down 7-0 at that point. So real early on in the game at home, trying to set the tempo, and Kirk Cousins gets in the red zone and throws an interception. So once again, no buyability, no bettability, no believability in this Vikings team because we get the same thing over and over and over and over again, folks. Don't fall in love with Kirk Cousins stats, with Dalvin Cook stats, anything like that. It's the same garbage nonsense over and over. The same garbage unclutchability over and over and over again. And we're truly done with it. The Vikings must blow up the entire team. I get rid of Mike Zimmer. I get rid of Kirk Cousins. And I get rid of Dalvin Cook. I'm good at running back with Alexander Mattison. We will have to probably find another quarterback. We don't really know what Kellen Mond is going to do. And then we'd obviously have to find a head coach, but I've got one great one in mind, and that is Peterson, Doug Peterson, ex-coach of the Eagles, who unfortunately does not have a job these days for some unknown reason to me, because I think he's definitely top 10 coach in the league. Vikings just got to blow it all up, folks. That's what it is. Also, what do they got? No, they settle for, well, they didn't really say they needed 2 possessions either way, but, Vikings, they lose by 7 here. Rams get it done. Rams took a little bit, slowly but surely here to win the game. Not really blowing out the Vikings here. Solid defense. This Vikings team is a solid team overall, folks, but they don't win. Yes, they make it competitive and look, optically like they're a good team. So we're not going to kind of fade or kind of fall off the Rams for having a close game out here, folks. Games are usually close. We got a couple of upsets this week, a big one in the Texans, folks. We'll break that down, everything, when we get to the game here. But the Rams do get the win 30-23. Score a touchdown on their first drive, then a field goal a couple of drives later, and then, Matthew Stafford, 3 interceptions in this game, and that's kind of alarming here. But once again, the Vikings could not win the game with Matt Stafford throwing 3 interceptions, folks. And Matthew Stafford fumbled, didn't lose it, though. But y'all know how we feel about teams not converting on the turnovers and making their opponents pay. That's another thing that the Vikings don't do. So here we go, Matthew Stafford. Let's start talking about him and his interceptions and all that, and we'll see what the Vikings did off of those turnovers. So Matthew Stafford goes 21 of 37. Also had this dude on my fantasy team on the championship round, and he lays the biggest egg. Luckily, I'm still going to win. Knock on wood. I got 3 players tonight. Only need like 5 points, but still knock on wood here. Matthew Stafford, 56% completion percentage, nothing great there. 197 yards, dink and dunk. Matthew Stafford, we've never seen that by him. 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. All right, let's look at what the Vikings did off these interceptions. First interception by Matthew Stafford comes in the second quarter. The Vikings get 3 points out of it. Second interception comes off the first drive of the second half here by the Rams. Vikings don't do anything with it. They go 11 yards. Last interception by Matthew Stafford, it does result into a touchdown. 10 points off of 3 turnovers, and you lose by 1 possession, folks. I mean, classic Vikings. No, folks. I mean, we say the same thing about the Vikings every week because we see the same things every week, folks. Jeez Louise. Alrighty. Matthew Stafford gets it done in the fourth quarter. 10 points. Bingo, bango. Puts the game away and all that. All right, rushing game here by the Rams. Fantastic. Sony Michel, leading rusher, 27 rushes, 131 yards, and 1 touchdown. Shout out to Sony Michel, and shout out to Sean McVay for making the trade, getting Sony Michel, and then sticking to the run game with Sony Michel, proving that he can get it done, and not letting Matthew Stafford, sling the ball 50 times every single game and everything like that. So, love seeing Sony Michel get these reps and get those production yards. And then who was Matthew Stafford slinging the ball to? Obviously, Cooper Kupp, leading receiver, 10 catches for 109 yards, obviously. Tyler Higbee, 5 catches, 41 yards. And then OBJ, 4 catches, 37 yards. And he scored another touchdown, folks. OBJ getting fed. He's happy. He's not speaking out. His dad's not speaking out. And Sean McVay is kind of, keeping it under wraps and under control. So we shout out to Sean McVay again off of that. All right, and now the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, stats are good, folks. These stats are good. 27 of 38, 71% completion percentage, fantastic. 315 yards, fantastic. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, not good. 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, and still lose the game. Unfortunate. Alexander Mattison could have done a little bit better, obviously. 13 rushes for 41 yards and a touchdown. Probably could have, stuck to the run game a little bit more out here. Alexander Mattison can get the job done, folks. He scored a touchdown. I believe he was he the first one to score for this Vikings team? They got a field goal, a couple of field goals in the first half. Touchdown. First touchdown was Alexander Mattison, folks. So shout out to that man, opening up the scoring for the Vikings because Kirk Cousins could not do it himself. So we love Alexander Mattison, Pro Bowl snub, we all know. And then Justin Jefferson, who was Kirk Cousins slinging the ball to. Justin Jefferson, leading receiver, 8 catches, 116 yards. KJ Osborne, 5 catches, 68 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Conklin, 4 catches, 44 yards. Adam Thielen kind of got knocked out of this game, unfortunately. 3 catches, 40 yards. Alexander Mattison, 3 catches, 29 yards. And then CJ Ham, 2 catches for 13 yards. But this Vikings team is the same old Vikings team, folks. There's 2 teams that we know what we're going to get every single week. It's the Vikings and the Panthers, and I cannot wait to talk about this Panthers game, folks. But we got to wait a couple of games till we get to that. So the Rams get the win 30-23.